physicist claims to have found the mind-blowing answer to why the universe exists. Quantum physicists have finally answered the big question of them all. Why is there a universe? Now, in the video before this one, certain physicists do not know why, since we have an equal amount of matter and antimatter in our universe, why it doesn't annihilate itself. Anyway, going back to this, the puzzle of why there is something rather than nothing, from which all the biggest questions of metaphysics spring, such as where did we come from, why are we conscious, has been really largely solved by scientists studying the physics of the infinitesimal small particles and applying them to the incomprehensible large. These quantum physicists first theorized, and then they proved, that particles simply pop into existence, usually in pairs, from absolutely nowhere. And that has to do with quantum physics and our consciousness. The observer effect. We can create matter, is what they find. Isn't that something? Now, indeed, they have theorized further that the universe really does not like nothing, and perhaps the state of nothingness is an impossible state. These pop-up particles are known as quarks, and they make up wisps of existence known as mesons and baryons. Ultimate free lunch, the universe came from absolutely nothing. And that's exactly what we have as a doctrine of faith, that God created us from nothing, just by his word. Now, the new findings here seem to break the classical physics law of the conservation of energy, that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, showing that new energy can appear within a closed system from nowhere. And scientists have theorized that once this principle is proven, the rest is just a matter of scale. A spokesman for science explainer channel Strange Mysteries said, according to quantum mechanics, the idea of nothingness persisting for all time is unrealistic, as there's no such thing as empty space. He says even in a perfect vacuum, particles and antiparticles flash in and out of existence, and they return to nowhere when they're done. He says Stephen Hawking found that space is unstable. Empty space in time eventually starts to froth and bubble. And these bubbles of space-time form particles out of nothing, just like those weird particles, and we think a similar bubble may have formed out of nothing to create our entire universe. Nobel Prize winner Frank Wilczek of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, who specializes in quantum chronodynamics, the theory that describes how quarks behave deep within atomic nuclei, has found that the universe simply does not like a state of nothingness. Something, existence, seems far preferable. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box. He said, you can't form a state that has no quarks and antiquarks in it, and it's totally unstable. It spontaneously starts producing quark-antiquark pairs. Victor Stenger, a physicist at the University of Colorado in Boulder, said, something is the more natural state than nothing, and according to quantum theory, there is no state of emptiness, quote-unquote. Professor Wilczek said, there is no barrier between nothing and a rich universe full of matter. Perhaps the Big Bang was just nothingness doing what comes naturally. Many quantum physicists have even drawn the conclusion that nothingness itself cannot exist. Quantum physics involves a trade-off between time and energy. Something that lasts a long time must have little energy, and vice versa. The universe is more than 13 billion years old, which suggests very low energies. The instant after the Big Bang, known as inflation, was a period of massive energy and expansion, but the negative energy of gravity precisely canceled this out, leaving a zero sum. The zero sum actually gets around the conservation of energy problem, because if there is zero overall energy to conserve, the problem evaporates. and a universe that simply popped out of nothing becomes not just plausible, but probable. Alan Guth, a cosmologist at MIT who came up with the inflation theory 30 years ago, said, "I like to say that the universe is the ultimate free lunch. Maybe a better way of saying it is that something is nothing." This is by Paul Baldwin, Express UK, Unbedded Reality. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support.